Okay. And then we go. See, that's my problem. When you're begging, we not answer you. So when you're about to speak major English, no, come on, let's do this. Welcome back to Signals on 91.3 Lagos Talks. This morning we'll be looking at integrative health. Learning integrative health. Very special thanks to Bukola. It's only like I'm calling like that. Well, I have with me, with very many degrees and a seasoned hospitality professional with over 20 years industry experience. I call it 2 decades of experience and more in hotel operations, hotel pre-opening, consulting, anniversary services, and recreation management. She's also an integrative health coach known as the consistency coach, and fitness motivator. She's the founder of Trim and Fertile and Great Woman. She helps women develop consistent habits around food and wellness so as to embrace healthy living as a lifestyle. Her professional career includes working at different A-list hotels, and currently she is the general manager of Penobscot Real Estate Development and Management, where she oversees the company's commercial building and hotel. One of the things that really stands out for her is ensuring, I think it's not only women, so that we don't play only the gender card, is she's looking out for healthy living for everybody, both men, both women, both children. And she's going to tell us more about how eating right, ensuring that we eat right, and wondering that in this economy we have to eat well. It's okay. I have with me Lola Oyewole-Udabor. Welcome to Signals on 91.3. I know, right?
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
So let's start. Wait first. To be part of the program, you can send us a WhatsApp message and call 0809-234-5913. And to our Signals Marketplace callers, please, we will continue selling our business next week, Saturday. Now, we're discussing integrative health. And I know when I sent it to you yesterday, you're like, wow, what is integrative health as against the conventional medicine that we know?
Okay, so integrative health is really about, I would say, a holistic approach to wellness and health. So your physical, your mental, your emotional well-being is key when it comes to integrative health. So if we're going to relate it to everyday people, it's the little changes you can make to your lifestyle to, optimize your health, because, we know everything affects you. So from your thoughts to what you're eating to your environment. So integrative health is going to pretty much put everything together for you to have optimal physical, mental, emotional health.
So the P, the physical, the emotional, the health. What decided like you are into hospitality? What now led you into?
So I'd say,
what happened?
I think it's not really what happened. It's, what would I say, a story. What's been happening. I tell people that my parents were fit parents growing up. My mom used to go for aerobics classes. We saw her. My father played squash for the longest time. So we already had that foundation of being active. So my sisters and I were even active in school. By the time I was in my 20s, my father had bought me my first set of dumbbells. So I was already exercising. So I've had dumbbells for, a while. And then salads, we would eat salads at home. We would eat vegetables, so we might not have eaten it the healthiest of ways, but it was definitely way healthier than what a lot of people are eating now. And as time went on, it was me reading up stuff, after childbirth. I just realized, I can do better for myself. What can I do? Yes, ticked off exercising, but started seeing that, okay, so you need to tweak your food. And as I tweaked those things, the physical differences for me were not just weight. So I grew up being an asthma patient. I can tell you, at a point in time, I had no asthma attacks for many, many years. And this was just because of the lifestyle changes that I made.
Mm.
With asthma, if it was raining and I was outside, the likelihood is I'll have an asthma attack. Now I can exercise in the rain and I'm fine.
Good.
Weather changes happen and it's fine. So for me, it was personal. What is it that I could do for myself personally? And as I enjoyed it and, embraced it, I was posting and people started asking me, oh, this, that, and interesting enough. So the person that made me start trim and fettle fully contacted me for meal plans. So I started with salad dressings, which was fine, but this person wanted meal plans, and I thought, oh, just the document. I created a document, and she said no, I would actually like the meals. And I thought, so I had to sit down, curate. I reached out to a friend who's a caterer. How do I do my pricing? She advised me, and then I started. And guess what? This lady never bought anything from me.
Wow.
But I started. And so that's how I started.
The push.
Yes, the push was there. I started with the food. And then, over time, I've evolved from food to retreats to, coaching and all of that.
Now, to women generally, our body goes through different cycles.
Yes.
I saw a video of a woman who she was bowed and there was flame coming out of her head, and they said she was going through menopausal.
It was a hot flash.
It was a hot, and I'm wondering, are we going to go through? Sometimes it's so hard, right? When you look at PMS, two different, and then how do we eat right to ensure that we have like a full health cycle? Because sometimes when you see somebody who's obese or when people are like, you have to be healthy, and the argument is even the people that are doing fit farm and the people that there's this subtle argument that people who are on the bigger size are more healthier than the people who are.
They might be fitter.
Okay.
Might be. Some big people are actually very physically active. But overall, I'll take you back to basic science, basic biology. What did they tell us in school? Eat the different food groups because the body needs those food groups as a standard. And then we see that as humans, we were created to do what? We were created to move. We're not created to sit. If you go back to the Bible, they were always moving. Yes, they were always moving. So we were created to move. So once you take movement out of, what you do physically daily, then you're reducing your health. So I hear you about the argument about somebody fit farm and all of that, but there are a lot of underlying factors that affect your overall health. For instance, sleep is a big deal. Somebody will tell you, oh, I drank a cup of coffee and I slept for 2 hours. Really? No. You spend, or you live really far and you spend most of your day in traffic. It doesn't matter how healthy you are, you're eating right and you're physically fit, but those hours spent in traffic, they're depleting something in your body. So it's really about how to find the right balance. Yes.
And I'm asking, how do we in so many things happen now daily life? You wake up 5 a.m. No, max 4 a.m. You get to the office at 6, and the work starts, and then you eat on your chair, and then your back is paining you, and then you close again, and this cycle continues.
So let's start with somebody that sits a lot. What can you do? Can you get up every 10 minutes?
Okay.
Walk around, come back. If you're on the ground floor, can you go up the stairs and come down? Just little, just the little things that you can do. You might not be getting it in as somebody who has a dedicated hour to sit in the gym or, work out at home. But there are things you can do to move.
Okay. So
like
move.
Those type of little tweaks. Then if we talk about food, I know most people think healthy eating is about eating salads,
lettuce,
yes,
and cucumber.
But it isn't.
Okay.
We're blessed in Nigeria. Let's talk about us here. We have a lot of fruits and vegetables that some of us don't even know about because of location. There are things in the north that are not here, and vice versa. So. But we have a lot of greens that we eat. greens are extremely healthy.
Greens. No,
Yeah.
no, no, do it.
No, you don't have to eat it fresh. So like your eforiro is healthy. The difference is how you cook it
And the oil.
and the amount of oil that you're using to cook it. So if you cook efo and the leaves are no longer green, then the leaves are dead. So all the nutrition you'd probably get from it is gone.
Then the argument is, how many minutes should we cook our efo?
So the way I cook it is the stew base, or the base is there. Once I'm putting in the leaf to turn it, I've turned off the heat. So the steam from the sauce is what is cooking the leaves.
Whoa.
Yes. It's steam that's cooking your leaves because that's all it needs. Think about it that if you put those leaves in hot water, once hot water touches it, it whittles because it's already cooking. So same process, put it in and turn it.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I'm going to go and try that. Because you know the normal way of when you finish cooking, you fry your stew and every put your meat, you now put the.
So this thing I'm telling you is the way my grandmother cooks, has cooked all her life, and so I'm used to a crunchy eforiro. My mom cooks like that as well. I don't know about dead leaves. You know.
I saw that. I saw that because we're used to, you know, by the time you want to cook your vegetable, and then your mother would say, okay, I'll try and interpret in English. Put everything on the fire, but some would say low heat.
Yeah, so low heat generally for cooking is advisable. I don't know why people cook on high heat for any reason. You're cooking rice, the pot is boiling, the water is splashing all over. It's unnecessary. Medium to low heat is the requirement for everything you're cooking. Every single thing, except you're cooking a stir fry. But even a stir fry, you have to be able to manage the heat when you're cooking.
I just started, for some reason, I just started.
Food doesn't have to burn. And on high heat, the likelihood is your food is going to burn.
Okay, so low heat.
Yeah.
For so many
Medium
minutes, I
to
want
low.
to spend. For some people, like.
So rice, boil your water, and then you put your rice in, put it on low, and go and do everything else that you want to do, and your rice is cooking. Yes, you don't need to stand there for the rice to cook. You can be doing other things. You can be chopping your onions for the vegetables or whatever it is that you're doing.
Okay, right. You know what I'm dancing is because you look at time. How much time do you want to spend cooking?
There is time. There's always time. So if you think about time and time for cooking, can you bulk cook and pack things away in the freezer so that it's not every time you're cooking? So if you've done your stew and you've packed it into 5 portions, for instance, it's not every time. So you just bring out that portion and you heat it up, and then you can cook your rice. And I'm sure you can cook rice that you can eat for more than one day.
Some people, anyway, but some people don't like to eat fresh food. So low heat to meals, because
especially when you're heating it up. If not, you burn it when you're now heating it up.
We should eat greens. Because this is nutrition, right? And one thing I realized with people exercising is now we've exercised, we've lost all the weight.
Yes, and then you are eating all the nonsense.
And then sometimes you're so hungry, and then there's portion control.
It's lack of planning.
Oh, okay.
It's lack of planning most of the times. So yes, it happens to everybody where on a day you didn't plan, you end up eating a meat pie, which is not the right thing to eat at that time, you know, but it's what's available. There are days like that. I mean, life is happening. We should still enjoy life. Okay. It's not supposed to be restrictive. You know, you can still say, okay, I had ice cream today. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. But are you sitting? I don't do cheat day. I just enjoy myself.
No.
So cheat day, let me ask you, who are you cheating?
Yourself.
Do you understand? So what's the essence of cheat day? Nothing. But if you've prioritized what you're eating and you're doing excellently, maybe 85 to 90% of the time, then those other things will not kill your diet. Okay. And so I'm going to go back to diet. A lot of times we think diet is depriving your body of something. No. Diet actually is about nutrition. It's about what you're putting in. Do you understand? So diet is what we were taught. Eat your, fruits and vegetables. Yes, exactly. Protein. The different food groups, the vitamins that you need. That's what a diet actually is. But unfortunately, the world has created this frenzy where it's now in the mind of someone when they say diet is, am I on a keto diet? Am I on, carnivore diet? No.
A protein diet.
Yes, exactly.
But you know, as a now speaking of all the different diets and the
Yes.
buzzwords, because it's all buzzwords,
Yes.
right? And you're trying. Is it cabbage? It's cabbage. Cabbage. You have to turn it and make it like
Swallow.
Swallow.
Well, I can't do it, so I can only eat cabbage the way cabbage is meant to be, either as a salad. So I make riced cabbage.
Okay.
But that's by grating the cabbage and you stir fry it with stuff and season it. But I won't call it
Swallow.
that swallow one.
Yeah.
But that's me. I mean, it works for some people, so I would say do what works for you.
We're discussing integrative health here.
No, but at the same time, remember that it has to work for you to make it sustainable. So, for instance, with exercise, if you like dancing as a form of exercise, stick to dancing. Don't now say because the people say jogging is great, I want to start jogging. No, it's not sustainable. You will jog the first day and they won't see you again. And guess what? You now stop exercising completely. That's the truth.
You know why I'm laughing? So there's this. So my friend and I started this. No, she. It's her. So she used to do this walking exercise, and then I'd watch her, and I was really like, okay, you will be doing your walking exercise. I kept quiet, and then at some point I had a health challenge where doctor says, "Oh, Oshodi, you're chronically fatigued," and I knew that I'd overdone it, right? So I said, okay, this madam that's always doing walking, let me start with. That's how fight started. Let me start with my 5,000 steps.
Yeah.
30 minutes, Abby. And there's peer pressure, even across people that are doing fit farm.
Of course.
So I started 5,000 steps every night. I was liking it every morning, very early. And then she says, "No, you have to do 10,000 steps. Money, I don't understand. You have to do jogging." I said no. They were said, and they were like, "Okay, sign up to it." I said no. There's so much pressure. There's so much pressure that you have to do what people are doing. So in the morning, I do my 5,000 steps, and I liked the way I was feeling. Then it was not like, okay, food you cannot eat until after 12. So then after 6, and then there are days whereby.
So you decided to do intermittent fast.
But the day that hunger, the body likes a way of revolting that. Madam, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't know why I'm hungry. And then there was a week where I had to eat as if they just let me out of prison. And then I blew up back. I'm like, how do we do this? Because it's like, if I'm eating right, it's not eating right, it's rice everything. How do we create a balance?
So for instance, I think the first thing we
The
should
peer
look
pressure
at-
is high.
Okay, so we'll unpack it separately.
Yeah.
So the first one is, like I said, do what works for you.
Yeah.
I personally don't like the gym. There's time I went to the gym.
It's too.
No, I
They
just
will come and tell you that, madam, you
I
need to
don't
do
like
aerobics.
no, I was great at the gym. But the thing that I like the most is group classes. I like that group class. And part of it for me is I don't see so many people every day. So a group class is kind of like the opportunity to meet other people. So it's a great way to interact, even if we're not really talking. But there's somebody, and then you
Like
guys are doing
ginger.
yes, you're gingering each other, exactly. So that's fine. Then I like lifting weights. So the gym worked for me. But after a while I stopped, and then I started going to boot camp, which is outdoors, and that was absolutely fantastic because I like being outside, that fresh air and all of that. And yes, so my workout has evolved, but it's what I enjoy doing. Do you understand?
No,
And I think it's important that everybody sticks to what they enjoy doing. Yes, there would always be pressure, but it's okay.
Okay. It's all right.
Then with your food, I say first of all, most people eat wrong.
We have gotten there.
Yes. Your plate is filled with a mass of carb, of processed carbs. Your rice, you're eating a whole loaf of bread. Therein lies the problem. And don't come for me. Don't come for me about those people that are carrying cement.
Their own is different. Their own is different.
So
they need all the energy. They need the energy.
So what you should be doing is half of your plate should be your vegetables. So actually, the main thing on your plate is the veggies. It's not those processed carbs. It's not the plantain. It's not, no.
No, it's sweet potato. Sweet potato is okay.
Sweet potato. You see, and that's the thing. those things are healthy. Potatoes are healthy, but it's about quantity. Yes. So that's the portion control part of it. So if you had a plate and half of it was your veggies, and you had a quarter the potatoes, a quarter your chicken or whatever protein you were eating, it's a game changer. The vegetables will keep you full. That's the honest truth. But we just assume that I have to pack that rice, that So it's switching the way the plate is.
Make it more colorful.
Make it, even if you couldn't be colorful and it was only green on your vegetable list that day, is fine. But yes, colorful overall, because you still need to get the different vitamins and nutrients from your food.
Okay. Now, in this area of mental health, how does integrative health balance it?
So integrative health will first of all balance it, because think about it. If you look good, you feel good, you're eating good. Already you're good. You're in a better space mentally. So I'd say, for instance, like exercise for me is a drug. I start my morning exercising and it gives me this boost, like I have how I want to go.
The dopamine levels are high.
Yes, it's high. Then overall, like I said, you look good. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you get dressed, you're like, yeah, I look good. You feel good about yourself. So already that boosts your mental health. So it's key that you're taking care of your personal space, your own person. That's, you can't control external factors. So the internal things you can control, you control, and it would help you balance your mental health, at least within the confines of what you can do.
And what you can control.
Yes, and what you can control.
Tell us a bit about meditation and mindfulness.
So with mindfulness, it's
again around that mental, emotional.
Yes. So we'll start again. Everything starts with the mind. It says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And so what you ponder on, what you think about, is what is going to affect you. So if, for instance, there's like during COVID, the people that were watching the numbers consistently, how do you think they felt?
Disaster.
Do you understand? They're thinking, oh my goodness, more people.
Like it was almost like a countdown every day. Like,
it's come to Nigeria.
Many people are dying.
This one.
And we were so happy when nobody was dying.
Yes, but why do you need to be in touch with the numbers? We already know there's a pandemic. So can I cap my news as, I know there's a pandemic. These are the things to do to protect myself, protect my family, and keep it at
barest minimum.
Yes, barest minimum. Yes, you could hear the numbers, but not every day. Put on the TV what's going on, and then that is
a lot of fright.
Yes, so you already are not even trying to take care of your mind. So you're not sleeping. You're anxious. You're
angry.
Do you understand? Like all those multiple factors. So it's important that you're mindful of the noise you're letting in. Social media is noise. So what is it? What's on your feed?
Yeah, that's another thing. The algorithm is almost controlling.
Yes. So, but how does it pick it up? It's from what you've put in. So what are you putting that effort into? So you also need to be careful. So like I said, it's from the mind. So what are you doing with your mind? Where are your thoughts? What are you thinking about? And then when we talk about meditation, I would like to start from a place of prayer.
Okay.
And just having that quiet time for yourself. And sometimes prayer is in the things that you haven't even said. You're just sitting and you're just in a place of peace and calm. And it's important that everybody has that sort of time to
calm down.
Yes, just calm, take it.
When the noise is...
There's always noise.
There's always noise. It's Signals on 91.3. Signals on 91.3. We're discussing integrative health with Lola Oyewole-Udabor. Well, if you have questions, comment, call us. Yeah, call us, because I'm the one that's enjoying this conversation. Let me bring call us 0809-234-5913. Or you can send us a WhatsApp message 0809-234-5913. Now, back to you. Yes, let's quickly touch a bit about 20 years in the hospitality sector. Why?
Happenstance.
Okay.
is what it was.
Because what you studied versus what you ordered, what life gave you.
It was happenstance. So I just happened to be out of university and at home, and that was the first thing that came to me. So when I started in HR, I did HR for 3 months, and I can't say that I particularly cared for it. And I got the opportunity to move to front office, so that gave me exposure to rooms division as a whole, reservation, front desk, and I was in guest relations, but it also worked as a duty manager, and that was good because it was at a time when Equator was opening Eco Suites.
Okay.
So to be part of seeing something come to life and actually work in that space, that was good. But having said that, by the time I was done at a hotel, I said I didn't want to work in hotels anymore.
Why? The drama.
Maybe so one was the shifts. You'd work. I mean, the good thing was you would only do the morning or the afternoon shift. So by 10, I knocked off. But remember that you would work on a Sunday, for instance. You'd work on a holiday if possible, because we have to figure out the rota there. How many of us on that duty or in that role we would have to schedule. So for me, I just thought, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this job anymore. And then yes, you're dealing with interesting characters.
Yes, I like that.
So from your colleagues to the guests, so
to the management,
everybody.
So
I said, no, I don't want to work in hotels anymore. And then I got a call. I'd come to a recruitment agency and they're like, oh, I know you don't want to work in hotels anymore, but this is also for a hotel. And I said, I don't think so. And then my mom overheard the conversation. What was that? And I told her. And she's like, but it's slightly different from what you were doing. This is pre-opening. It's not, so you're going to have a different angle. Take it. And so I called back. I said, okay, I'll take it. And so I did. And I loved my boss. Okay. My boss, what he did for me is amazing, because it was just 2 of us in the office. So when they call from the head office and they say they want this document, he just sends it to me and says, figure it out. If you need help, call them in South Africa. And that was all. That was it. So I had to learn these things. I had to figure out how, when you enter something in this tab, it links to the other tab, how to create those type of documents and all of that. It was fun. And then I went on to do my master's in international hospitality management. That was interesting, because when I said it to my dad, he's like, why don't you just do an MBA? And I said, no, because I knew hospitality already. I wanted to go in for something that I understood. Do you understand? And I like that I stood by that, because by the time we were in class and we were talking, I could apply my experience to what they were saying, and all of that. So imagine if I had gone and done something I didn't know anything about.
I hope you give mommy tithes, because those mothers, they know how to collect it.
So my dad finally came round, and then yes, I went to do that. And then whilst I was away, my boss was calling. When are you coming back? When you come back, you have to come back to work for me and everything, So yes, I came back and eventually did go back again, and then moved from being, the only person to being front office manager, opening up as front office manager, and well, the rest they say is history. But I would say, when I came back, on one of the interviews I went for, the person said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I said, consulting. And he looked at me and said that he's been in the industry for so many years and he's still not a consultant. And I didn't say anything. But yes, within 5 years, I had moved to consulting. So I liked consulting, even though I missed operations.
No, stay in consulting.
Because in operations, I used to see things. I saw things. It was interesting. There was never a dull moment. Because you imagine that you're serving guests from different cultures, different countries, so you get to see different people. I remember one man, I want to see the manager, I want to see, and he was shouting, and then I came out. I didn't ask for you, I asked for the manager. And I said, I'm the manager. Nonsense. And he just walked off. And I just, I had to go to my office to laugh, because yes, you meet
different characters.
So that's why I said I miss I missed out.
No. Stay in consulting. Now, what has consulting taught you?
So with consulting, so I'd say different things. So one would be the advantage for consulting was because I had operations experience and we were now working
At the back
with the owner. I'm now understanding how to marry that to the actual operations. I'm able to go into a building and tell you this isn't going to work. You need to add this, what it is. I can give you that overview because with pre-opening, I had the opportunity to understand how to read the architectural drawings. And so with that, you understand how your spaces need to function, the flow of things for everybody, including the guest. So with consulting, it's a marriage of that.
Operations and management.
Yes.
Now, how do you see the hotel landscape, the hospitality landscape in Nigeria? Because every time it's always full. We now have Airbnb. We now have all sorts.
Well, that was bound to happen.
Okay. Because of COVID or after COVID?
Not necessarily COVID. I think it's the trends in the world. It was bound to happen. We are a global village, so what's happening there would eventually come this way. It would come differently because, over there's certain things that apply. It doesn't apply here. What the issues that I see is we lack the human capacity, the skilled workers in the industry, so that it's not necessarily always going to be as professional as it should be. And then we lack data. We're not big on data, and data drives everything. So you understand what it is, and they were very secretive for no reason. If I'm doing research and I go into a hotel to ask what their occupancy was last year, it's a secret. Tell me, what could I possibly do with your occupancy figures from last year? Absolutely nothing. I can't use it against you. I can only use it to create data and understand that, hotels on the island perform
more than the mainland.
Better than the mainland, or the mainland performs better than the island. Maybe island for food, mainland for rooms. Those are the type of things we need to be able to spoil out. But because we're so secretive.
Mainland for good water, island for no water.
Things like that. We should be able to document it and actually put it together. But we're not able to because there's no data. If you ask me how many hotels are in Lagos, I don't know.
Wow.
Google it. It doesn't exist. You could find out the major ones or the ones that are listed, but we do not even have a central register that is publicly available.
Because sometimes, take for example the dirty December that happened. Everywhere was filled.
Most places, yes, correct.
I am wondering.
So do we have the data to back it?
No.
Exactly. And data is key.
That's a new money spin if somebody is willing to go into that space. And that at what cost? To what end?
Because you still have to work with government. It's not something an individual can
do
on their own. Because understand that government has all the registered businesses and things like that, their addresses and so on and so forth. So it would have to be like some sort of concerted effort as opposed to an individual just going around to doing it. But the truth is we need data.
We need data. It signals on 91.3 Lagos Talks. We have Lola Oyewole-Udabor discussing with us. We're discussing hospitality, integrative health, eating right, do your fitness the way you can. Right? If you have questions, comment, call us 0809-234-5913, or you can send a WhatsApp message 0809-234-5913. Now, with no data and we are in a tech era, how do we balance?
You do tech for your own self.
I love that. Wow.
I mean, you can pick up on trends for the major people that are listed, that are showing what they're doing, but there's certain things you can't do. You just have to do it for your own self, unfortunately.
Now, with no data, how do we look at the future of hospitality in, let's say, 2 to 3 years?
So with no data, not that there's none. For instance, the branded hotels do have data.
Because they're spending heavily.
So you're able to get basics from them, and you can use that to understand. Individuals might have to take out personal studies
Okay.
to be able to grab as much as they can, the trends, to see who's what. People do post a lot on social media, so
Yeah.
there are things that you can pick up.
So we're
Things
relying on influencers. Well,
not necessarily influencers. It could just be regular people as well.
hold on a bit. Hello, good morning. Hello. Anybody home? Okay, do send us a WhatsApp message 0809-234-5913. Call us 0809-234-5913. Now, future of the hotel system. Because now when people go to hotels, if you say we're relying on social media, somebody goes and says, "Oh, I like this place," and everybody rushes there. For how long is that going to continue? Hold on a second. Hello, good morning. Who is there? Hello? No, that's not for me. The connection is bad. Call, please send us a WhatsApp message. I'd love to read your messages. 0809-234-5913. How many times are people going to rely on Lola goes there? Oh, it's a very nice car.
It's going to evolve. I see it evolving, especially with feedback that people are actually posting real feedback. So yes, if I want to go, the reviews. So if I want to go somewhere, whether it's local or international, I'm going to look for the reviews and read through. So you see, if there are two negative ones, I want to read what the negative ones are. Yes, because we could have a great time, but if, for instance, food keeps coming late, for me, that's an issue. I don't care how nice the food is. I don't want to go and wait for food. Do you understand? So that's why I'm saying, so everybody could be posting, "Oh, the food is great, but it takes 1 hour. It takes 2 hours." No.
Speaking of reviews, there's sometime a friend went to a place and there was nice, now because of good content creation, it was very nice on social media. By the time they got to the place, it was zero.
Yes, because people are paying attention to aesthetics
as against value.
Yes. So if you ask me, most of the older restaurants are better than the newer ones, because the newer ones are so busy looking for ambience. How is it going to look? Can they take a selfie when they're here? Instead of putting quality into the people they're recruiting and the type of meals that are coming out. So therein lies your problem.
So how much time should one wait for their meal while they're in a hotel space? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
No, calm down now. What is it that you went there for?
So room service sometimes will take long. So let's say so that people have.
I think there are different things that you're making. So the timeline could be anywhere from 20 minutes to 40 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on what it is. But a good way to go about it is the person taking your order should be able to come back to you and tell you your meal will be ready in 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then how do you kill that time? One good way is the people who always put nuts and, bread on the table. That helps, for that gap. And then it's also at the back. How are we preparing ahead for the meals? Prep is everything.
Prep. Inside prep. Outside prep. Prep. Yes, because you got to restaurants and you, because of a delay in response, there's a bad review.
Correct. And that's absolutely correct.
But we are talking about reviews. A lot of times people don't really like feedbacks.
That's fine. And if you don't, the thing about feedback,
because sometimes companies are like, "No, don't spoil our brand." And then they'll bring the cultural, because we're too emotional in getting feedback.
They're not ready to grow, and they're not ready to make profit in the long run. I mean, it's like somebody saying something to you personally as well.
Yeah.
You decide how you want to use the feedback. If, for instance, everybody says, "I don't hear what you're saying, you talk too fast." But all you are telling people is, me, I talk fast all the time. I talk fast all the time. But everybody keeps saying you talk too fast. I can't hear what you're saying. What are you going to do about it? You have to take a step back and figure out how to talk slower so people hear what you're saying.
Even you know that you're talking to us.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, instead of saying, I always talk fast.
I sound to agree.
But they can't hear what you're saying. So that means you're not communicating. How about looking at how to become better at communicating your message?
Yeah. Okay, back to integrative health. Because I'd like to stay a bit how what are consistent habits important that my question is women, but how can everybody adopt their ensuring that their health?
Eat fruits and vegetables.
With
exercise. And so when I say exercise could just be walking. So like your 5K steps a day was fine. And what you could have done with that is, as your body gets used to it, you start to increase. So you're pushing yourself by yourself. So you're increasing from 5,000 to 6,000 to 7,000 gradually. There's nobody pushing you. You're not, so that gradual.
I think the only time I do 10,000 steps is on Sunday. But you see that.
No, you see, you have to get there mentally and physically. If you're not there, then you're struggling, and it's affecting your thoughts, your mind, your person. So it's about small, consistent habits to do that. What else can people do? Drink water.
Some say they don't like drinking water.
Figure out how to make your water more interesting. Put fruits in it, just to change anything that can up the taste of your water. Fruits, lemon, cucumber, watermelon. You'd be surprised. So sometimes, sometimes I'll just slice up the different fruits that I have available at home, put it in the fridge, and then you drink, and it's nice and refreshing. It's still water, Make your water as interesting as possible. You might not have the opportunity, but just drink water and sleep. 7 to 8 or 6 to 8 hours is a good requirement for us. Might not happen every time, but
motivational speaker said that if you not sleep well, you're not doing anything with your life.
Not incorrect. So imagine that you're healthy, but you don't sleep. You're going to break down. You will eventually break.
You don't sleep on your desk.
And so you'd be ill, and part of what would have caused it was the lack of
sleep.
So sleep. Understand your stressors and avoid them. So that's why I said, avoid the noise. So if you know that news is an issue, please stop listening to the news. Stop watching the news.
Watch cartoon.
If that relaxes you, why not?
Watch cartoon. Play game.
Go to the cinema. Self-care. Go for a massage. Go for a walk with a friend. Talking sometimes is a great way to,
listen to music.
Yes. There's simple things that we can do to
start telling us now. We say we should eat food, we should drink water, we should
eat fruits and vegetables.
Eat plenty greens.
Not necessarily green now. We have yellow, we have red,
Okay.
So the variety that's available. Yes, mostly the greens.
You also said cook your food on low heat.
Yes. Yes, I want great.
Don't go and sleep away.
One thing. Eat more home-cooked meals.
Okay.
Because you know what you're putting in your food. You know the type of oil, the amount of salt, the seasoning and all of that. You're able to control those things when you're the one cooking. But if you're going out to eat for real, you can't control the type of oil and the amount of oil that they're using to cook it, for instance.
That's true. One last one before we wrap up, because my time is up.
Yeah.
Salt over
what, stock cube?
Yeah, stock cubes. Salt over stock cubes. Which is better?
Everything in moderation. That's the honest truth. Okay. Salt is more natural, so yes, you would say salt. But if you're going to use the stock cubes, just think about everything in moderation, or make your own.
Okay, or mix it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I had fun. I hope you had too. Till we come here, we are to everyone who's called, listened in. He said you should reduce your low heat. Don't go and pour food. Whoa, if you have a Nigerian mother, what's it going to Kana? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. My mother is Nigerian.
So
is my grandmother.
So reduce, like she said, cook your food on medium, low heat. And low heat is very important. You know what I'm looking at the time when would have increased high heat, but low heat for our health. So we have to, because we want to grow old gracefully. Growing old gracefully is very important. So we come your way again next week Saturday, like you always see on Signals. Dream again. Create opportunities for people, and because people will be people. Keep creating opportunities. Have a wonderful week, and God bless. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.